Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Journey of Natty Gann. And this is a hour and 40 minute movie. It's from 1985, and it's set in the Depression, in the 30s, mid 30s, and deep in the Depression. If you don't remember what the Deep Depression was, I don't remember because I wasn't there. I'm not that old. But it's a time when everybody was looking for work. Everybody was pretty much hungry and just scraping by. And this is a story of Natty and her dad, I can't remember which city it is that they live in, but it's just the two of them. And Disney trope warning: there is no mom. So, dead mom, dead parent alert. Just the way it works. It's Disney. It seems like it is required. Because Dad, unfortunately though, Dad, at the same time fortunate, Dad gets a job, but it's all the way across the country in Washington, nowhere near. And it's such a immediate job hiring that he doesn't even have time to tell her that he's leaving. He tries. Basically, it's just a few hours to track her down, but she's wandering off with the kids, smoking. By the way, it's one of the very few Disney movies where you're gonna see children smoking. And yeah, so it's there's actually a small little scene in the bathroom where she's hanging out with boys. She's very tomboyish herself. She doesn't take any crap from anybody. She's not a wilting flower. She kicks a little bit of ass when one of her friends calls her dad a commie. Well, that's what his dad called her dad, and so she took a few punches and basically handed some out herself. So she's a girl's as a girl, she is very capable, able to take care of herself. That is something you need a lot of, at least in this time in America. And so when Natty realizes she's all alone, left in the care of the woman who runs the apartment where they live, or flop house or whatever it is, it's that they're staying in just to barely get by. She's alone, and she's not having it, especially when it turns out that the woman who's supposed to be taking care of her and watching out for her calls the cops to have her rounded up and taken to a shelter so she doesn't have to deal with her. She escapes and she makes her way. She decides she's going to find her dad, and she knows he's in Washington. He's got a job there, and she's going to find him. Problem is, along the way, it's not easy to get across the country unless you're willing to ride the rails and run from cops anytime they raid the train, because that's what people did at that time in order to get across the country, illegally riding in rail cars and, of course, not paying, and cops hunt them down. And along the way, when she's on that path, she runs into John Cusack, who was a super hot ticket at that point. He was, what was he in that he was just like a big deal? But either whatever it is, you just put him on the poster. Well, you know what? Yeah, he put him on the poster, put him in this little picture right here, and probably in the trailer, all over the trailer. And honestly, he's hardly in this movie. I'm just going to tell you that right now. If you're looking for a lot of John Cusack action, it's not a two-person thing. He is important to the film, but he's not a big part of it. So, speaking of, I just named the actor, John Cusack. The girl is played by Meredith Salinger. She's done lots of acting over the years, but a little trivia piece here: she's married to Patton Oswalt. Yeah, comedian Patton Oswalt. You've seen him in every other TV show imaginable and a bunch of movies as well. I'm not going to go down his filmography because this is not about him. But I just found that interesting just before I turned this on, that I recognized the name. I'm like, where have I seen that name before? And oh yeah, it's Patton's wife. So anyway, enough of that. Her dad is played by Ray Wise, who it turns out that he wasn't always a silver fox. He had dark hair and very young and rugged looking, and played her dad, played as Natty's dad. And it's all about her just getting across country, trying to get to him. And when he calls home and finds out that she's not there, well, it's almost a struggle for him to decide whether he's going to stick around where he is or try to get all the way back to where they came from to reunite with her because he feels she's in trouble. Or she could be dead, for all he knows. It's a rough world out there. But other than meeting John Cusack, she meets a wolf, becomes best friends with a wolf, as you do, and the wolf's name is Jed, is other trivia I found. Jed also is in The Thing and in White Fang. So, yeah, there's some acting chops on that wolf. If you're looking for wolf acting, Jed is the wolf, at least in 1985, or the 80s or whatever. And he's done other international work, so, you know, he's at the top of his game here in the 80s. But yeah, I think this is I hate to call it a fun adventure, because, you know, when you're talking about stories that take place in the Depression era when everybody's hungry and without a job, not exactly a place you go for fun stories. But it shows her resilience into overcoming enough creeps, way too many creeps, at least one too many creeps in this, and one is all you need. But she also finds people who are really kind and help her out along the way, and you're invested, and yeah, she's an appealing protagonist. It sounds so clinical, but yeah, she's like I said, it's hard to call this fun, but it is. It's a good adventure starring a girl. You usually don't get cross-country adventures about a girl and her wolf. So if you're into that, that's a reason to watch it on Disney Plus. Girl and wolf. It sounds like Princess Mononoke. Maybe it is. No, it's not. But yeah, go for it. This is I was surprised at how much I liked it. I liked that it just had a look that, yes, it was shot in the 80s, it's set in the 30s, but it felt older. It felt more lived in, and I think it was really well done. And it's a great cast. Oh, Scatman Crothers is in it also. I just saw his face here. Scatman Crothers, he has a very small part, but if you don't know who he is, he's an astounding actor, musician, guitarist, actor. He performs live music all over, but some people would recognize him from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, The Shining, and the voice of Jazz from the Transformers in the 80s cartoon. Unfortunately, he died in 1986, so I don't know who's been doing it since, but when I looked at that, I was like, oh, no, in 86, he's missed 2 entire Star Wars trilogies, which is something I bother to think about when I find out people died too soon. Anyway, The Journey of Natty Gann. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a good, solid adventure on Disney Plus that you may not have expected to find. I mean, sure, there's tons of Star Wars movies and superhero movies from Marvel and everything Pixar throws out there, but this is a little rare gem. It's off the beaten path. So check it out. All right, let's pick tomorrow's. Boom, generate. 134. I think we've had this one. Again, my memory is spotty and unreliable, but for some reason I can remember these dumb numbers. No, I'm a dummy, but actually, we may have picked this a while ago, and it was not on Disney Plus yet. It may be there now. I'm going to show you what it is. 134 is Dolphin Reef. It's probably a Nat Geo documentary, or at least a Disney documentary special something or other that talks about the dolphins. And if this takes too long, I will fast forward as usual. So you do not have to suffer through my tap, tap, tapping. I just don't want to have to come back. Oh, there it is. It is not Nat Geo, it looks like it. It is solidly Disney nature. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's a little documentary about dolphins, and hopefully they do not talk. Hopefully we learn about them. I hate it when they make them talk and have adventures based on footage shot in the wild. Like that one about the elephants a couple weeks ago. Or, God, when was that? It was, yeah. It was the one we saw just before Dumbo. Anyway, Dolphin Reef from Disney Nature on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. We'll be back here tomorrow, and we'll talk about it. We'll see you then.